Captain's Log, Stardate 8404.2. After Lieutenant Commander Martell's away team rescued him from the Cardassians, Commander Rogers has been reassigned. After making contact with his partner, Kib, the Argo rendezvoused with Rogers' vessel, which then set course for an unknown destination. Admiral Powell was unforthcoming as to Rogers' next assignment, but gave us his thanks for the Argo's assistance. Meanwhile, the Argo, Akagi, and Jaeger have all been recalled to Sector 001 and Earth Space Dock. 4 Miranda-class starships will be taking up the patrols in the Regulon sector. The reasons behind the recall order are unclear, but the order comes directly from Admiral Bennett. End log.
This game is canon, right? Or going with canon timeline, right? I was curious.
Yes, we are a canon TOS/TNG, TMP era game.
Yes, just as the captain stated.
ETA to the Sol system.
Just real quick, you guys just haven't been relieved yet. You're still waiting for your replacement vessel to arrive.
Okay.
But that's actually happening right now. Mirror turns. Captain, we're receiving a hail from the USS Guardian. They have arrived to relieve us. Or, well, in range and signals that we can depart at our leisure.
Thank you, Mira. My compliments to the captain of the Guardian, and we stand relieved. Are the Akagi, Jaeger, and Argo rendezvousing and traveling together, or are we just kind of going as we're relieved?
You're kind of going as you're relieved. The Jaeger, from your report, has already departed. They were a little bit on their patrol path. They were a bit further away. So to kind of, I didn't mess up the fleet map. So the Jaeger's right there. Oops.
Okay.
It's already departed for Seoul. The Kagi should be departing soon, and you just been relieved.
We're roughly 40 light years from home.
It'll take you a bit.
Yep. Lieutenant Haran, laying a course for Sector 001 and Earth Space Dock. Lieutenant West, once the course is ready, engage at maximum cruising speed.
Hi, Captain. Course received and laid in.
This wasn't like a priority 1 recall where we needed to bust. Okay. Yeah, so. Just cruising along at warp 11.
Is there anything you guys would like to do while on your way back to Earth?
Well, what is that? That's like over a month?
No, it's 11 days.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure Hardman will be up to no good.
Yes. I want all department heads and especially Mr. Martell to run some thorough diagnostics and security sweeps since we have had, in the wake of having Drell aboard. Let's make sure he didn't leave anything untoward behind him.
All right. Let's go with reason plus security, difficulty of 2, assisted by these ships. Sensors plus security to do an internal sweep.
Okay, so reason plus security. Focusing on computers?
You're looking for like listening devices or tracking devices, stuff like that.
Okay.
Worms and virus eyes.
Alright, and you said difficulty 2?
Yeah. That the computer side stuff is going to be done by Lazos, so
Okay.
that's a different task.
Oh, man. I'm gonna have to give you a threat to start the entire game.
I'm feeling a little low anyway.
Well, I got it.
No tracking devices or otherwise, at least none that you could detect on internal sensors.
Captain, it appears our friend didn't leave any surprises so far.
Very good. Commander Lazos, I want to make sure we don't have any worms or backdoors into our programs or any of that. Do you think a level 2 diagnostic of systems will be adequate, or should we go all the way to a level 1?
Well, if you want a thorough look at the ship's computers, then level 1 is the way to go. We don't want, as long as we're in a safe stretch of space, we don't particularly need the computers to be at maximum capacity to handle keeping us at warp. So we can continue with a couple of hours on a diagnostic without any interruption. I wouldn't go getting into a firefight though, sir.
Well, we should be in Federation space all the way and getting closer to the core systems by the moment, but you know how quickly things can change. So very well, make it a level 1 diagnostic quick as you can.
Then I'll run a level 1.
That will take approximately at least 7 to 8 hours to do.
Yeah, I figured it would take a quarter of a day or so.
Captain, can I, would you like for me to scan for any ships, perhaps anything following us?
Definitely keep an eye out, Lieutenant, but be aware that the Akagi should be heading roughly on our same heading before too much longer, and the Jaeger should be ahead of us. But normal long-range scans and try to catch anything coming to us before it catches us.
I see.
Yeah, then I'll do the diagnostic and make sure to, catch up on any work that needs to be done in engineering for the rest of the journey. And then in off hours, I'll be mostly focused on the Twilight experience thing.
And I believe I still need to have a word with Ensign Rue Nara.
GM, can I like try to work on to improve the ship's sensors?
How
Is that
so?
more of like improve on it to where we can detect stuff from further out, or be more precise? Or is that more of a role?
That's more of a upgrade talent for the ship, such as high resolution sensors.
Okay.
Right. I will count the less at the end of the session.
Yeah, that's fine. I just remembered it and thought it would remind.
Thank you, because I completely forgot. But yeah, that would require a talent upgrade on the ship.
Okay.
First day in your travel back towards Earth has passed. Level 1 diagnostics completed yesterday. No shrewd programming was found in the computer core.
Worth checking.
For the time being, everything is smooth sailing. There has been no reports of piracy after you left the Regulon sector. The Akagi left shortly after you did, and they are currently about a day away from you. At their max cruising speed. They do travel a little bit slower, so that time will extend. The further or the closer you get to Earth. The Yeager is about 2 days ahead of you, just because they left so much quicker. They were replaced by the USS Mahan.
Canonically, I was reading a book by the guy that was named after a while back.
I believe you wanted to talk to the ensign. Is that correct?
Correct. The chief engineer had asked me to do that right before we got sucked into working for Starfleet Intelligence.
You asked to see me, Captain.
Oh, I would have taken it in my ready room for sure. Sorry. Ensign Nara, Trust your plasma burn is feeling better.
Yes, sir.
I understand you received that burn while replacing an EPS conduit,
That is correct, sir.
and that further you received that burn after failing to isolate the valves before replacing conduit, and thereby trying to replace a conduit that still had live plasma running through it.
Yes, sir. The error is mine, sir.
Ensign, your error not only injured you, but could have cost you your life and could have seriously injured your crew members, and potentially, since it took place in main engineering, even had led to the damage or crippling of the warp engine and of this entire ship, thereby putting all of your 749 other crewmates at risk.
Yes, sir.
There is a reason that Commander Lazos demands perfection from her teams, because in our business, a single mistake can cost lives, and in engineering, a single mistake can cost everyone's lives. I expect from this point out, during your service on this vessel, that I shall hear nothing but glowing reports of your activities and of how you consistently never fail to check and double check the regs and specs before undertaking any full task, and make sure that you keep safety first and follow the procedures to the letter.
Understood, Captain.
Very well. I'm restricting you to limits for 30 days. Work, mess hall, and your quarters. That's it. And we'll hear no more about this.
Yes, sir.
And Ensign, we all make mistakes, but let this be the last time you make this one. Understood?
Understood, sir. It'll never happen again.
I know it won't. Dismissed. And I'm not going to enter anything in her record about non-judicial punishment or any of that. She can do her restricted quarters outside of work and meals for 30 days, and that'll be where it ends. Now let's see if she goes crazy and blows up the ship.
Like, maybe she'll work with Hardman in doing that.
It's not work for Hardman. That's his hobby. That was really all I had, GM.
Is the doctor currently in sickbay?
Yeah, we can say he's in sickbay.
What is the doctor doing?
Probably writing Hardman about something.
I swear, doctor, the mess in hydroponics was an accident.
I've heard that before.
I was attempting to create a new coffee plant. Would you like to
Thought we
try some?
talked about the coffee.
I assure you, I did not alter or do anything to the captain's special plants.
And how did you alter the coffee? Dare I ask?
I made it robust so it could survive in better climate conditions.
I see.
That and to gain a more flavorful texture from the bean through different, in certain environments.
Now, what is this obsession with coffee?
Well, I'm trying to impress the captain, sir.
I don't think you're succeeding. And something tells me if I were to tell the captain that you were manipulating coffee on board his ship again, that there could be consequences.
But I wasn't messing with his plants.
Very well. Don't say I didn't warn you. Perhaps you should take a bit of your special brew to the captain so that he can judge you on these actions.
Are you sure that's wise, doctor?
Well, you're trying to impress him with your coffee, and despite my warnings, you feel that this is a necessary action, so the logical conclusion here would be for you to see if the captain likes your coffee.
Right, yes. I'm not sure it's ready, though. I just did the modifications last week. I think a few of the beans are ready. It's a good idea, doctor.
I see. And then I'll walk over to the comm panel and Dr. Shallot to the captain.
Haggard here. Go ahead, Doctor.
Captain, I just wanted to give you a heads up. Hardman is modifying coffee beans again. He's heading your way with a special brew.
Has Dr. Hardman been practicing these modifications on the plants that I specifically told him not to touch?
He claims that they are not from the specified plants, that he has been doing research on his own.
Well, there's that, at least. Have you tested any of his brew? The last time the gastrointestinal effects were sudden and disturbing.
Yes, part of why I wanted to give you a warning to hopefully keep you out of sickbay, or at least the nearest restroom.
Understood, Doctor. Thank you.
Good luck.
GM, I mean, I assume everyone in the bridge can actually hear what's happening over the comm, right? Because I was going to have my character volunteer to be the test bunny.
I'll spend 2 threats just to make sure that everyone heard that.
Oh, I can see sick bay is going to be busy this episode.
The captain will quickly run to the little break room and get himself a full cup of coffee right after the doctor's call.
Captain, would you like me to be the test bunny? I can test it first, but before you take it, sir.
Well, I thank you, Mr. Tanners. However, I couldn't ask you to do something I'm not willing to do myself.
Understood, sir. But may I ask, is this coffee special blend that bad, sir?
Apparently, this is something new. The last batch that Dr. Hardman experimented on was unfortunate in its physiological after effects.
To the, I'm not sure if I follow. Is it poisoned or is it just?
It placed several of us in a position of gastrointestinal distress for a few hours after consuming it.
Sir. If he comes up here, would you like me to scan the coffee to make sure it doesn't have anything that shouldn't be put in the coffee?
Oh no, he hadn't added anything to the coffee. His genetic tweaks had harmed the coffee.
Okay. Real quick, GM. Before I assume the first time Hardman made modifications to the coffee, I wasn't on board the ship yet, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, since this happened kind of like before my time, sir, I am still kind of curious. But I can try tasting just a small sip of it.
I certainly can't stop you, but fair warning, the last time did not turn out so well.
Understood, sir. I will be ready for what possibly may happen.
Oh, this is not going to end well.
Hey, he's a scientist, okay?
All right, hang on. We got rolls coming. Take cover, people. Where?
The idea of experimentation. I mean, he's a scientist, so I mean,
Oh, there he is.
can't blame him too. For,
All right. Is there a focus he's using?
Microbiology would fit.
Okay, and can he use his value for this?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go ahead and do that. All right, so we get 2 momentum. Whoever's tracking that.
I guess that's me these days.
And Dr. Hardman appears on the bridge with a tray of a coffee pot and a few mugs. Doctor, do you wish to roleplay out Hardman?
Sure. Good day, everyone. Good day.
Ah, Dr. Hardman.
I have something special. Something I think you're really gonna like, Captain.
Ah, unfortunately, I just filled up my mug, but perhaps some of the other officers would like to try.
Oh, Captain, come now. This is a masterpiece. For this, I shall win. Is it like the Cochrane Prize? What is the Nobel Prize in the 23rd?
Probably still the Nobel Prize, but
Still the Nobel? Oh.
or that's one of them. But
I shall win the Nobel Prize for this one.
I'm sure you will, Doctor. However, I don't like to mix my blends.
Well, that's a good point. So we'll get rid of the old blend,
No,
and then you can try
that's
this.
no. I'll be happy to try your coffee at another time. But I'm fine with what I have right now.
Oh, Tennis. Well, certainly you would be wise enough to try such a fantastic blend that will just make your taste buds cry with envy of not having this previously.
So, Dr. Hardman, you pour a cup of coffee. Coming out of the actual pot does not appear to look like coffee. It's some sort of green liquid.
Miss Doctor, Doctor, are you certain that is coffee?
Oh, yes.
I take a look at the captain, just kind of like is giving him the look like is this the is this like what have I got myself into kind of look.
Come down, Lieutenant. Bottoms up.
I guess I'll take a little. First, I would like to scan the coffee, make sure there's nothing with my tricord, make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary. Make sure it is.
Reason plus science, difficulty 2.
Come now, trying to learn the cook's secrets.
Will sensor operations work, or is focus? Or
No. Do you have biology or microbiology?
I don't. I have survival, quantum mechanics, and astrophysics.
No.
Will work. All right.
To be fair, the survival might be coming up, though.
Probably. All right. Well, Is it reason science?
Yes, reason science. Difficulty of 2.
Okay. I'll spend 1 threat for 3 dice. Or wait, we do have momentum, but I think I'll save that just in case. Fingers crossed. Did, and squash the complication with the momentum.
So you spend a momentum to get a 3rd dice, right? Which you were at
I spend a threat for the
Okay.
3rd target.
Yes, you scan it. It appears to be a interesting cross-genetic blend of a coffee plant and algae.
Algae?
Yes.
Doctor, what kind of algae did you put into this?
Shh, it's a secret.
Doctor, I would like to know before drinking this, because perhaps I might be allergic to this specific algae.
Well, that's simple enough to fix. I can just give you a shot right now to take care of any allergic reactions.
No, thank you, doctor. That is perfectly fine. I just would like to know what kind of algae that is before I take it.
Well, you see, it's a special blend I've been working on of genetically modified algae from a few planets that I've carefully put together to increase the survivability and yields of the coffee beans. This, I truly believe, will be revolutionary. You will be seeing this coffee in every establishment soon.
Okay, very well, doctor. I take a gulp, not swallowing the coffee itself. I'm just kind of like a bracing kind of gulp for whatever's about to happen. And I take the coffee and I'll take a small sip of it, not a whole lot.
It tastes like coffee.
Okay. Does it have like any after effects?
I mean, you took a sip, so no, it tastes like coffee.
Okay, I'll take a little bit more of a sip of it.
Come now. It's not how you drink coffee.
Well, doctor, I just have never seen coffee that is this color.
So you're biased to colors.
Well, it's typically speaking, coffee's black, doctor. So I mean, that's kind of why I was kind of intrigued by the.
I could add food coloring to it to help you, Lieutenant, if that would ease your woes, make it black.
Not at all, doctor. I think this is fine. GM, is it having any side effects or anything like that on me after taking a bit more sips of it? Oh god.
See, Captain, there's no problem at all. Really, you should try this coffee. I mean, if you don't like the color, I can get some food coloring immediately, and you won't even be able to tell the difference between your coffee and my coffee, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. Perhaps another time.
Yeah.
Again, I don't like to mix my blends that destroys the flavor of both coffees.
And he's going to go around and pour a cup and give it literally to each and every person, kind of not taking no for an answer.
I would
Tanner's
train- Yeah, so,
fitness plus medicine difficulty of 2.
Oh, that's steep.
ouch. Okay, will survival take into play as a focus?
No, unfortunately not.
Not yet.
Okay. I'll spend 1 threat for 3 dice. This is not gonna end well. Jeez. Yeah, 1 threat for 3 dice. It's not gonna end well. Alright. Fingers crossed. Yeah. And I don't believe I have anything to squash or re-roll the complication.
My question is, do
Do I have-
you wish to spend your determination to re-roll that?
Oh, jeez. Will striving to be a better person
No,
embrace new ideas?
I don't think you have a value for this, unfortunately.
Boy. All right. You know what? I think I'll take the chances, and I think I'll just roll with what I just rolled.
So
Save
as
the-
you
the-
you drink the coffee and you're talking to Hardman and you're discussing about the blend and how to, why he used algae, you just also go, you can't feel your limbs, and you look down and then you just fall over unconscious onto the ground.
Uh-oh.
Doctor?
I don't know what
To
happened.
sick bay. Medical team to the bridge. We have a medical emergency. Nobody drink that coffee. Nobody else drink that coffee.
The doctor will attempt to do any kind of, check his vitals, see if he's breathing.
So I can't say anything.
You're
You're unconscious, so probably not.
Reason plus medicine difficulty of 1.
Well, I mean, hey, at least I lived up to one of my values, which is embracing new ideas.
All right. You said reason, medicine?
Yes.
All right. Could I use the focus of research as I am researching the effects of my coffee?
Sure. Momentum has been gained. Dr. Hartman, you realize that your coffee, the concentration of the algae, is causing a paralytic. Talk about it. Essentially, someone who drinks it in fast quantities has an undue side effect of paralyzing the individual.
Damn it! I knew I shouldn't have used that blend. Oh, is he gonna survive?
I love how that's the secondary concern.
He needs to get to sickbay, and there is a antidote that can be given to him. Because if it's not given to him, his heart could stop.
Hardman will turn and look at the captain. Don't worry, sir. I know how to fix this. Oh, and there's an antidote down in sick bay that will take care of him if we get it to him before his heart stops.
Well, I think you'd best be about it, Doctor.
If I was conscious, I would have probably said, "Do not touch me."
Hardman will attempt to lift and firemen carry the lieutenant down to sickbay.
Fitness security? difficulty of 1.
And Dr. Charlotte, seeing him come in. What the hell happened?
Research. Doctor, I have the antidote. Or antidote should be here. 1 second.
And Dr. Charlotte will take his own readings and make sure he comes to the same conclusion.
Reason medicine difficulty 1.
Okay.
Ansaz, where's the antiparalytic?
Who have you poisoned now? It's right here.
You sure?
Yes. Reaches into the drawer and passes it over. You've really got to stop your little experiments.
And he administers the antitoxin, and a few moments pass, and you kind of come to.
I'm conscious now. Am I awake now? What's up? Okay. I look up to Dr. Charlotte. Dr. Charlotte. Jeez, dang. That was one hell of a coffee. I looked over. Is Hardman standing right next to me?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have senior rank over him?
Hardman is... What is his rank? He's an ensign, so yes.
Okay. Ensign? Doctor? Step away from me. Do not ever come near me again. If you do, I will stun you. I will stun your ass and take you and drag you over to the nearest airlock.
And Charlotte will say, "Easy there, Lieutenant. Easy. I will handle Dr. Hardman."
Okay, very well. Hopefully, and please keep him away from me and the bridge, please.
I assure you, Dr. Hardman will be properly disciplined for his actions. And additional safety measures will, of course, be implemented should Hardman do any more experiments.
Okay.
FYI, the whole reason why you're only alive is because of your traits.
Oh, my trill traits? Saved my life. Oh, nice.
That would have been awkward if killed the captain with coffee.
Well, and I will say at least it was me who drank it, not the captain. Someone who's a little bit more valuable to the ship. But at least he didn't drink it.
And I'll head over to the wall comm and sick bay to bridge.
Haggard here, Doctor. What's Mr. Tanner's condition?
Stable and understandably upset. I think me and you might have to have a little discussion about Hardman.
Very well, Doctor. Lieutenant Tanners can take the rest of the day off if he feels he needs to. And you can meet me in my ready move room at your convenience.
Doctor, Charlotte, I'm feeling a little dizzy. Do you have anything for that? Like a headache?
Feeling dizzy.
Just a headache, sorry. Meant to say that, not the dizziness.
This is the 23rd century. People don't just have headaches. Sit back down. We'll run a full battery on you.
I put my sit back down.
And I'll call over. And Sauce, get over here.
Coming, Doctor. Excuse me, Dr. Hardman. Yes, Doctor?
I want you to run a full battery of tests focusing on any neurological repercussions that may have come from his poisoning. Make sure that there's no long-lasting effects here.
I'm more than capable, Doctor, but as I keep reminding you, my specialty, of course, is as a surgeon. So,
True.
yeah, Anders will run a series of tests. He has radiology, if that comes into effect.
And while he's doing this, Dr. Chalette will head for the bridge to talk to the captain.
There's gonna be no roll for this, but
Okay.
Essentially, everything comes back. He's okay. There is some lingering effects from the paralytic, but it should pass within time.
Okay.
I'll give you a mild analgesic for the pain. I suggest plenty of fluids to help flush the last of whatever god-awful substance Hardman put in your body out.
Doc, I'll just go ahead, go to my quarters and lie down a bit and drink plenty of water.
Doctor, you arrive on the bridge.
I will make my way to waiting room. Push the little button.
Come?
Captain?
Ah, Doctor. Have a seat. Coffee?
Thank you.
Guarantee it's algae-free.
You see the doctor's eyes kind of like light up a little bit, like, whoa. I don't think I'll be having any coffee for some time.
So, yes, about Dr. Hardman.
I have given him several warnings about this obsession of his, but he seems most determined to proceed with them despite my efforts. So I thought I would come to you, given the severity of the last action. Um, you should know that the only reason he survived that is he is Trill. If you would have taken a sip of that, or anyone else, you would more than likely be dead right now, Captain.
Well, I think it's time that we curtail Dr. Hardman's research into consumables officially.
I would strongly agree with that.
Well, it's so ordered that Dr. Hardman can research to his heart content, so long as he does not research anything to be consumed by any of the crew. Without full testing and the approval of Starfleet Medical's Food and Drug Division.
Probably wise. Do you think any sort of disciplinary action is in line with this?
Honestly, Doctor, were it up to me, I'd have him transferred, but that doesn't seem to be a possibility currently.
And you see his eyes kind of narrow in curiosity. How so?
Let's just say that while I have some friends in the Admiralty, I also have some people I may have rubbed the wrong way from time to time. In any event, Dr. Hardman did produce an untested beverage which nearly caused the lives of one of my department heads and bridge officers. So, yes, I would imagine some sort of punishment is merited. However, Mr. Tanners did drink it of his own free will after I had warned him that the consequences from drinking Dr. Hardman's concoctions could be unpleasant. Granted, this goes a bit beyond unpleasant.
Yes, there's a wide gap between unpleasant and life-threatening.
So, since you are far more the authority on medical ethics and so on, I will leave Dr. Hardman's discipline in your hands. I'll sign off on whatever you think best, up to and including reduction in rank.
He's a ensign.
There's an entire field of non-commissioned officer ranks. Doctor?
Very good. I will consider the options.
Just let me know what you decide.
Very good, sir. Thank you for your time.
And seriously, Doctor, that's an order. No more messing about with food and drink for people on Dr. Hardman's part.
I only wish that he would have heeded my advice sooner.
Well, you can tell him from me, if he does it again, he's going to spend the rest of his tour in the brig.
Very good, sir.
Thank you, Doctor.
If I'm dismissed?
Of course.
And Dr. Shellett will head back to his office and sickbay. And while I'm on the bridge, I'll probably have the comms officer relay a message to Hardman to have him wait for me in my office. Dr. Hardman.
Dr. Shallette.
I assume you know why you're here.
It's about my special blend.
Yes, that is very accurate.
I just need more time, Doctor, and I will perfect it.
No,
I believe that my heat.
no. From here, you will only answer when you are spoken to. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, from now on, there will be no more research into any food, drink, or anything else that could potentially be consumed by any living creature. Is that clear?
So the coffee wheat I have to stop. I got it.
Yes, all research into that is to be stopped immediately. There will be no more research into projects that are not specifically given out by your immediate CO or me. Is that clear?
What about the various plants that I have experimented on?
Are any of them for human consumption or
Yes,
human use?
I have coffee flavored bananas, coffee flavored wheat, coffee flavored well, yeah, just regular coffee plants. Coffee flavored apples.
Coffee quadritriticale? Oh my god!
Then all research will be terminated,
We got
effective immediately.
coffee flavored chocolate too.
Do
Dude,
I make
you're
myself
just trying to die
completely?
now.
Do I make myself completely and totally clear?
Yes, sir.
What happened today is unexcusable or inexcusable. You nearly killed a member of this crew, a bridge officer at that. You are a doctor. You gave a sacred oath. Do you remember that oath?
Yes.
And what is the first line of that oath?
Do no harm.
To do no harm. And what did you do today?
I harmed Lieutenant Teniers. But
Yes.
if I could explain, it was just a miscalculation that when heating the algae to proper coffee burning temperatures.
Doctor,
Sorry, sir.
as punishment for this heinous action, I am hereby limiting your medical license, which I will run through Starfleet, to only doing research on non-organic materials. Well, not well, to materials that are not to be consumed or ingested in any way. Which means that if you proceed to do any of that research, not only will you be violating orders of the captain, but you will be in direct violation of practicing without a license. And I assure you, you will lose your license. And you will never be a doctor again. Do I make myself clear on that?
Yes, sir.
I'm also confining you to quarters with exception of when you are on duty for 1 week. And basic rations. Whatever that works out to in the 23rd century. That will be all. Dismissed. And I will use my communicator in my office. I assume I have one. To contact the captain.
Haggard here. Go ahead, Doctor.
I just finished a rather stern conversation with Dr. Hardman. The following has been put into effect as disciplinary for Dr. Hardman. His license has been restricted to research on non-edible or consumable items, and he has been restricted to quarters for 1 week, with the exception of while he is on duty, as well as basic rations for that time period.
Very well, Doctor.
I hope that will suffice.
As do I. Haggard out.
Day 2 rolls around and everyone kind of reports to their shift.
Why am I green?
You're feeling a little sick.
Did it actually turn his skin green?
Did it really?
Looks like we've got a new Orion on board.
Mr. Tanners, are you feeling all right?
I'm feeling a little ill, sir, from the incident. And I would like to say you did, in fairness, warn me about that drink.
Well, however, I didn't realize the effects would be quite so profound. Are you sure you're fit enough to be on duty? Because you are quite literally green.
Look at my arms, or look at my hands, because I have a uniform on, so I can only look at my hands. I did not realize the side effects would do that. I'll go ahead and go back to my quarters and lie down. Actually, no, I should probably go and look into sick bay, see if they can do anything about that or what they recommend.
Yes, I think sickbay might be best in this case.
Captain, we're receiving a distress call.
Put it on.
This is Convoy S-9. We are currently under attack by pirates. To any vessels nearby, please help us.
Convoy S-9, this is Ulysses Haggard of the USS Argo. What is your position?
Relaying coordinates. I'm not sure how long this communication will... And it cuts out.
Did you get it, Mira?
Partial. I could probably... Seniors, if you can help me, we can probably triangulate the message to where their current location is. It seemed fairly close.
Of course, I can try to do whatever I can to assist. What's the roll, GM? Okay. It's reason plus engineering?
Yep. You have an increased complication range, by the way.
Oh, lovely. Okay. What's the complication range increase to?
Yours is 2.
Okay, I'll just spend 1 credit for 3 dice. Can I use sensor operations as focus?
Yes. And Mayor will be assisting with reason plus engineering.
Okay. Love that.
If someone wants to roll for Mira, and then the ship assists with computers plus engineering.
I got the ship.
Sorry, I'm heating up dinner, or I would get it.
So what's Mira rolling?
Reason plus engineering.
Is this assist? Or main
Yes,
roll?
it's an assist.
All right. Subspace communications?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
All right, 3 momentum has been gained.
The convoy is 2 light years out, sir, Captain.
All right, transfer the coordinates to the helm. Lieutenant West, full emergency speed.
Or go ahead.
At warp 14, Captain, it'll take us 6 hours to reach the convoy.
Would you like for me to report to sickbay or stay at my post there?
By all means, report to sickbay. See if they can't get you fixed up. We may need you soon.
Aye, sir. Understood. I'll sign out from my post for the time being and report to sickbay.
All right, West. Best speed you can. How long can we maintain warp 14? Like almost, was it 9 hours now or
13 hours.
13 hours now? Yep. Are we there? Oh. So, where is the location within Federation space, GM?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You're a few light years away from Trillius Prime.
Okay. Mr. Chitre, see if you can find out anything about this convoy S-9, where they're out of, where they're going, what they're carrying.
That would be a reason con difficulty of 2.
Oh, then I think I'll give that to Ensign Kumalo, or Yeoman Kumalo. Okay, she'll give you a momentum for cautious and a 3rd die. Don't think she has any focuses that are going to fit. And she'll re-roll the 0. Yeah, oh well.
Captain, it appears that the convoy is a small convoy of 3 freighters and 2 escorts. They're essentially carrying raw materials to Trillius Prime. Nothing of real value.
What kind of escorts?
2 light Trill fighters, sir.
Understood. All right. Number 1, we may be coming out into a combat zone, so we'll be going to red alert before we drop out of warp. Phasers and photon torpedoes at the ready.
Aye, sir. Ready to enter combat.
Mirror pipes up. Captain, the Akagi says they are 1 day out, but they are heading towards our position to assist.
acknowledge Captain Mitsugi's transmission and advise her that we will keep them in the loop.
Any other preparation you guys wish to make?
Probably see about treating our lieutenant.
Yeah, a few minutes before drop out of work, I'll sound general quarters. Red alert.
Teniers, you arrive in sickbay.
Is Hartman approaching me? Oh, yeah. I will put my hand on my phaser, just to basically kind of like show to him I am serious. Do not approach me.
Oh, Dr. Hardman, perhaps you should let me handle our fine green lieutenant. All right, Lieutenant, on to the biobed. Let's see what we have. Are you positive you're not part vegetable?
Last time I checked, Doctor, I am not.
So yes, I will.
Does anybody notify me that he came in?
I'll scan Tanner's. I hear Porthos.
They want cheese.
Don't give them cheese. It makes them have stinky farts. Reason medicine difficulty 2. Take a momentum for cautious and a third die. Hardman will report it. Yes.
What is it,
Ooh.
Hardman?
I'll re-roll that comp. There we go.
Doctor, the lieutenant's returned. His skin is green.
Alright, well, I recommend you stay out of sight, as I imagine the lieutenant is none too fond of you. And head over.
So Hartman did not mention that the lieutenant put his hand on his phaser when Hartman approached him.
I don't believe so.
Doctor, I'm running scans now. Results should be in momentarily.
Did you check to see if he's part vegetable?
I did. He claims otherwise.
Well, you know the first rule. The patients always lie.
Indeed. We should know shortly. Ah, here they are now. Lieutenant, it appears that you have a virus that has genetically altered the pigment of your skin. Your melanin has been genetically changed to give you this lovely and healthy green hue.
You said healthy. This life-threatening?
That remains to be seen. GM, is it contagious?
Potentially.
This virus? Potentially. Doctor, I'm afraid that there is at least a potential that whatever Mr. Tanners has going on inside of him is could possibly be contagious. I suggest we quarantine the sick bay until we can determine one way or the other. And it might be well to warn the captain.
Yes. I'll kind of hurriedly go over here and hit the comm button. Sick bay to bridge. Come in.
Haggard here. How's Lieutenant Tanners, Doctor?
We got a real problem here, Captain. He's got a genetically mutated virus that is potentially contagious.
Potentially. So you don't know for sure.
We're still running tests on the membrane integrity, but I think it's best that we side on the err on the side of caution.
Understood. He's been on the bridge, so we've all been exposed. But I've got an emergency situation on my hands up here. I'll keep an eye out for any symptoms among the bridge crew.
Okay. If anyone turns green, let me know.
Keep me in the loop, Doctor. Haggard out. And Ansas will take some blood to begin working on the virus.
I hate to do this. Hardman. I want you to analyze this blood and figure out what's going on. You're our resident expert on microbiology.
Doctor, I should point out that I took a residency fellowship in virology. Because I just gave him virology.
You can show the Dr. Hardman the scans.
Well, sure.
Ah, it's my retrovirus.
Actually, I can't get him virology. It's tapped out for folks.
I was wondering why the algae did not take the coffee likeness.
Tanners will keep a very close eye on Hardman and have the phaser ready just in case.
Charlotte will kind of look over.
Now, Lieutenant, let's have no phaser fire in sick bay. That will only exacerbate things, and I'm not even sure it would even affect Hardman. Phasers don't work on stone that thick. I'll gently kind of take the phaser out of Tanner's hands.
I give a very cold glare at Hardman, though.
Now you know how I feel every waking moment.
I am confused. The virus should not have jumped species.
Shouldn't have been a virus in the first place.
But how am I supposed to change the genetic code?
Perhaps we should concentrate on determining how to kill this particular variant of the virus.
I can make a new retroactive virus to counteract the retrovirus. I'll get to work on it right away.
I'll come over. Don't worry, Tanners. He isn't as dumb as he sounds.
Sure hope so.
I'll see if I can determine if it's actually contagious or not.
Good idea.
And Ansas will wander back to the lab and start running tests to determine how contagious it is.
If this is contagious, should I quarantine myself, Doctor?
Well, you're not gonna leave sickbay until we find out.
Reason Anderson, Ansas. Difficulty.
What's the
1.
difficulty?
1.
Take a momentum for cautious.
2 momentum gain. The virus is contagious through bodily fluids, but only currently the pathogen can be transferred to Trill.
Ansas to Dr. Shallot. It appears that the virus is indeed communicable. However, it is in its current mutation, it is transferable only through bodily fluids, and thus far appears only to affect Trill.
Very good work. And I will
I know, Doctor. Ansas out.
relay the information to the bridge. Do we have any other Trill on the bridge?
I'm aware of, Doctor. I believe I'm the only Trill on board.
Human, Ryzen, Kataran. Is Mira human or
Ryzen.
Ryzen? Okay.
He's the only Trill on the ship.
Okay.
Well, looks like we may have at least dodged that bullet.
Now, Lieutenant, this will only hurt a bit.
Doctor,
Dr. Harmon, please do not touch me. The phaser is not with me, so I can't
and
use that.
Dr. Shallot will kind of hold out his hand here. Give it here.
All right.
Now, Dr. Harmon, walk me through what you did.
You know, Lieutenant, this is really quite fascinating. I'm sure there's a paper in it somewhere.
And sauce. Bedside manner.
I am a scientist, Dr. Anzos, but
Well,
I
Stratos Medical Society and the Journal of the Stratos Medical Society is always interested in such xenobiological oddities.
It's a retrovirus, Doctor, to counteract the other virus that is currently plaguing, and a modified antibody that should help accumulate inside his body to fight the one that is changing his pigmentation.
Did you run any simulations on how this will affect his particular biology, him being Trill?
Well, I just took the virus that's currently changing his pigmentation to reverse the effects and then create antibodies to... No.
So that would be a no. What do you say we go run some simulations?
That is, you are talking to Tanners?
No, to Hardman.
I
Let's go, Hardman.
yes, sir.
And I'll try running some medical simulations to see what computer says about the odds of this not killing him.
Dr. Anzos, is Hardman this, shall we say, clumsy?
Well, he kind of looks with disdain around him, no more than the rest of them, really. But it's not their fault. Not everyone has the advantages of Stratos' higher education.
Can I use research as a focus?
Yeah.
What's the diff 1? I'll take 1 momentum to activate cautious med.
The
Okay.
treatment will work. He'll still feel sick, but it'll cure him, and the antibodies should counteract once delivered properly into his system that it will kill the virus.
Seems like it will work after all, Hardman. I'll have you stay in here so that you don't agitate our patient anymore, and I will administer the treatment. Lieutenant,
Doctor?
good news.
Okay.
The simulations show that this should be completely effective in neutralizing the virus that you currently have.
This is wonderful news. But when am I, when I get this antidote, when should I expect to be able to get back on my feet and get back to my duties?
GM, would I know? Or since this is a new virus, would it just be you're better when you're better?
He's better when he's better, essentially.
I'm afraid, Lieutenant, that you're going to be off duty for the foreseeable future until this takes full effect, starting immediately.
Very well, Doctor. Thank
And I'll go ahead and administer the treatment.
And you administer the treatment, and his skin color, kind of changes slowly to better hue.
That really is remarkable.
And then eventually goes back to normal.
I look at my hands and see the green looks like is for the most part gone.
Yes, Lieutenant, you appear to be back to being your normal, boring self. However, we'll keep you here for a little bit. You may still be feeling a little under the weather as the virus works out of your system.
Psst. Doctor, psst. Psst.
I'll turn around and...
The second dose. He needs to take it now.
What?
The second dose.
Second dose?
The antibodies.
I administered all the treatment. At least I think I did.
Does he look
Was
normal?
this?
It was 2 parts.
Did we run simulations on both parts of his treatment?
Yes. Yes, you did.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was him or you. All right. Okay. Then I guess I will give you the second part of the treatment. One more shot for you, Lieutenant.
Okay. Doctor, very well.
There we are. Not so bad.
Daenerys, you feel a
Excellent.
little tired and
I'm feeling a little tired, but I suppose that's just the side effects of the virus, I assume. Correct.
Yes, just lie back and rest, Lieutenant. Don't worry, if Hardman comes around, I'll shoot him myself. Just kidding, Doctor.
I would like to have my fakes with me just in case if that were to happen.
That will not be necessary, Lieutenant. And, Doctor, I want his blood work run every 3 hours and a full screening. I don't want to miss anything else.
Of course, Doctor. I'll see to it personally.
Good. I'll be in my office.
new scene.
And, the doctor would have let the captain also know that he's going to be fine, but off duty for a while.
Okay. Red alert. What do you see, Mr. Chatray?
I'm not detecting any pirate activity, but I am detecting the convoy, sir. It appears that their escorts have been heavily damaged, and all 3 freighters are sustained damage as well. I am detecting life forms on the freighters themselves, sir.
Mira, hail the freighters and their escorts. Convoy S-9, this is the USS Argo. What is your status? Please report.
And on the view screen, it's kind of retro, staticky, and a Trill captain kind of appears. This is Captain Nears, commander of Convoy S-9. They just left shortly before you arrived, Captain. I guess I'm not sure why they even attacked us. They had us dead to rights.
Any idea who they were?
Orion pirates, though they usually don't operate this far into Federation space.
Do you have wounded? Do you need our assistance?
Take whatever assistance I can get, Captain. We got wounded across all our vessels, and our escorts are practically useless.
Understood. Haggard to Dr. Shallot.
Shout here.
Doctor, we've got wounded people on the convoys, freighters, and escort fighters. Need medical teams heading over to the ships and sick bay standing by for the seriously wounded.
Very good. Recommend turning a cargo bay into a possible triage facility for any overflow.
Good idea. Yeoman Kamalo, see to that. Commander Lazos, coordinate with the Trill officers to determine what they need in terms of engineering and repairs. Captain, I've got medical teams on the way. My chief engineer will be working with your people to assist you with whatever repairs. We have a pretty full cargo hold of duranium and other supplies for repairs just for these kind of situations.
Thank you, Captain.
And we will stand by. Argo out. Mr. Chitre, keep an eye out on long-range sensors. Orions may be back. Number 1, stand down to yellow alert and begin rescue operations.
Aye, sir. Yellow alert.
All right, who wants to go first?
Probably the doctor.
Doctor Transporter Room starts reporting that
You cut out at the end.
sorry, was mumbling. Figure out something out. So they report in that they're beaming over wounded from the freighters and having them delivered over to sick bay for you. Retreat.
All right. I will have the lieutenant go back to his quarters, as we're going to need every bed we can get, and just have him let us know if there's any problems. And then I'll yell for basically everyone to all hands on deck, and begin triage. Have somebody out in the hall to basically receive and send in the most critical and all that good stuff. Less critical will go to the cargo bay.
Blackford actually has triage, so I guess she'll be the one out in the hallway.
So for this is actually going to be an extended task. This will be control or presence medicine, difficulty 4, work 17, magnitude 4, resistance of 2. Most of the injured are people with burns, broken arms, or,
Okay.
So, some are like cuts and gashes from exploding consoles and shrapnel.
All right. So, what is the difficulty?
Difficulty is 4. It's either control or presence. Either you can order your medical teams, your medical staff to, start tending to, sort of the wounded, or you can, like the controls represented, like you're doing it yourself.
And remember, you've got both advanced sickbay and CMO advantages to spend.
Okay.
Can he
I
be
will-
assisted with this?
No.
What about with the ship?
The ship will not be assisting in this matter because
Okay.
there's just too much. Because it's
Okay.
pretty overwhelming.
Okay. So I will use both of my advantages. And now that makes it so I can lower the difficulty, right?
Difficulty or the resistance.
I will lower the difficulty.
To both, using both to lower difficulty by 2.
Yes.
All right. So presence medicine or control medicine, difficulty 2.
Okay, I will take 1 momentum to activate cautious medicine. And can I use either emergency medicine or triage?
Are you using presence medicine?
I'm using control medicine.
I will take emergency medicine with control medicine. If you're using triage, then it'll be presence medicine.
Okay. It's actually the exact same stat, so. Okay.
1 momentum has been gained. Roll 6
returned.
challenge dice.
Okay.
Currently, that is 4 work being done.
Okay, I'll give 1 momentum for either resistance or extra just to get to 5.
If you spend 1 momentum on piercing, that will give you 6 work.
Okay, I'll do that.
That would be a breakthrough. Difficulty goes down by 1.
Okay, and we will do the exact same thing again. So another momentum to activate cautious medicine. And I will re-roll that 0 there, complication.
Gain the momentum back. 6 challenge dice. It's currently 3 work.
If I use the piercing, would that get it to 5?
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and do that.
I'm spending some threats to move the difficulty back up to 2.
Okay.
As more patients start arriving.
Okay. All right, I will give you a threat this time for the 3rd die.
All right.
Don't have cautious med, bedside manner, supervisor, empath. Yeah, I can't well, actually, I will use a determination to re-roll. I can use either a never give up on a patient, better with people to machines, I love all life.
I will take the first one that you said.
Okay. So I will re-roll the 2, or do I re-roll a 3?
You can re-roll as many dice as you want.
All right, so I'll re-roll the 2 dice and keep the 1. There we are.
So your momentum has been gained. Roll 6 challenge dice. It's currently 4 work being done.
All right, I'll use 1 momentum.
Or piercing or extra work.
Piercing.
That will complete the work track. You did 5. Breakthrough there, and then another breakthrough because you complete the work track. And you and your team for the last, good hour has been working diligently at tending to the wounded from the convoy. But while you were doing that, Lazos.
Yep.
They sent back that their warp nacelles were damaged. They have repair teams trying to repair it, but they require some supplies. My question for you is, you can order engineering teams, or you can go out and kind of do this yourself. But this will be an extended task. I just need to know which way you're going to approach this.
Yep, I'm gonna do it myself.
So you're going to go out in a worker bee in an EVA suit.
Worker bee.
All right. All right, Lazos, this will be a control plus engineering difficulty for work 21, magnitude of 5. And this represents working on the 3 freighters. Really, when you're out in the worker bee, you can definitely see the 2 Trill fighter escorts, and they're pretty much the only thing that can be used at this point is scrap metal. They're so badly damaged.
Yeah, with no momentum, I'm gonna just have to start off with determination because none of the other talents are gonna come into effect.
We have 1.
I need like at least 2 or 3 to do anything meaningful. Would you accept a determination on there's a right way and a wrong way, and I do things the right way as I try to be very meticulous at the cost of time.
Sure.
Focus in emergency repairs.
Yeah, I will take that. That is 4. Roll 7 challenge dice. Currently, you're only doing 3.
1 for piercing.
Difficulty is now 3, control plus engineering.
Yeah, I don't really want to add to threat. So I don't know if you want to change between scenes or anything, but I'm going to try to hit it with 2.
While you're busy working on that, Captain, is there anything else you would like to do while repairs and the medical teams are underway?
Any sign of the Orion Raiders on long-range sensors, Mr. Trey?
Negative, Captain. Though there is a stellar nebula nearby, small one, but they could potentially be using that as a hiding spot.
Just on the off chances, our scans revealed anything abnormal or unusual about the freighters?
No, sir. If you like, I can perform a more in-depth scan, but on the surface, there's nothing abnormal.
Let's just be safer than sorry and give them a good scan.
Reason plus science. Assisted by these ships' sensors plus science, difficulty of 1. That's accounting for the advanced sensors.
Tanners or Martel, you guys want to grab Chitre for that role?
Sure, I can grab him. Give me just a second. There he is. What was the roll again?
Reason science, difficulty 1. Assisted by these ship sensors plus science.
Sensor operations.
I will take that, yes.
And then he's got a dedicated focus of sensor operations. And
Which generates 1 bonus momentum. Or 1 bonus momentum on every if he rolls a crit success.
Okay, and it was difficulty 1, right?
Yes.
Well, let's see here.
I will take that as threat.
Okay.
Captain, I am registering mostly Trill among the crew, except for 1 Orion.
Say again, Mr. Chitre?
Sensors indicate, you said for anything out of the ordinary, the crew is mostly Trill and human, except for 1 Orion.
Ensign Mira, patch me through to Captain... What was the captain's name again, Prax?
Captain Nears.
Captain Nears.
And on screen, as the image starts clearing up a little bit. Yes, Captain.
Captain, my sickbay reports that your people are being helped. Looks like we've got everything under control. However, I'm reading that you have an Orion on board.
Yeah. I took him on as an engineer. He's an older, elderly guy. Kind of nice for an Orion. Why?
Well, as you said, Orion pirates don't usually operate this far in system, and no offense, but the cargo you're carrying isn't exactly prime material for the black market. So I begin to wonder if maybe your Orion engineer is more than he appears, or perhaps running from something.
I can have him brought up.
I'll tell you what, Captain. I'll send my first officer over and let him talk to the man and see what we can see.
Very well. I will have him come aside from stopping the repairs, so he'll wait for your first officer.
He can actually continue to work. My first officer is no slouch of an engineer himself. I'm sure he can find his way around. And maybe the Orion himself might be a bit more willing to talk to a fellow engineer. I'll have my XO, Commander Martell, beam over immediately. Haggard out. Number one, see if you can't find out if there's anything more than meets the eye to our Orion engineer friend.
Understood. I'll see what I can get, but I'm not going to promise anything.
Well, sweet talking with your knowledge of EPS conduits or something.
Understood. And with that, I'll head down to the transporter room.
Finally, my time has come.
Martel, this will be control plus engineering difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering to beam over. Well, you won't be able to roll it. It has to be like because you're on the pad.
Okay.
Grab Anders.
Yeah.
How are we doing on crew support?
I think we're good.
You're still good.
Control engineer. It's the same role, but okay.
It's the same roll. 2 momentum has been gained, and you beam over to the lead cargo ship.
I was just confirming our moment.
Martel, you beam over, and Captain meets you's like, greetings. Kind of looks like you're waiting for a name, but Captain.
I'm Lieutenant Commander Jason Martell.
Pleasure to meet you, Commander Martel. I am Jidem Nears. Right this way. Jar is down the hall here. And he escorts you down and stops short, and there's a elderly Orion. He's quite old. He's actually not the green color, but more of a the red hue. And he goes, Jar, got some people from Starfleet over here to help you out. This is Commander Martell. I believe he's going to help assist you on whatever you need. Kind of raises an eyebrow. Nears kind of nods and walks off. Martell, is it?
That it is, Mr. Jar.
Shut off the valve to EPS number relay 67-A so I can pull this other relay out.
EPS 67-A. A. Right there.
Ryan tweaks and pulls the relay out. Loud thud is heard as it slams to the ground and pulls the other one sitting next to him and shoves it in, starts hooking it up.
Sure you don't need any help with that?
I've been around these old bucket of bolts for a while. I'm
All
sure you have
right.
other things you should be attending to.
Oh, I just thought it was kind of strange for an Orion to be engineer of a vessel of this type. I mean, wanted to see how you handled yourself.
Job is a job.
That it is.
Finishes installing the relay. You can flip the switch back on again.
All right. Click.
And starts humming back to life, and he puts the crate on there. Or the gate. Martel, give me insight plus security difficulty 2.
Oh, good grief. Uh, insight security. Are any of my focuses going to apply?
Did you say insight or control?
Insight.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And you said difficulty 2?
Yep.
I hate you. Well, I'm going to take a momentum for this because this is very crazy. Hopefully I'll get this. Oh, oh, good grief.
I tell you what, you can succeed at cost here, but there will be a complication. What the complication is,
Yeah.
he's gonna kind of realize, you're not really here to assist him. Or do you wish to re-roll it using determination?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't know if I have a value that would apply.
Bang your captain's orders to find out what's up with this sneaky Orion.
I mean, unless you'll give me mission directives.
Sure.
Okay. Nope.
Do you wish to succeed at cost?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to.
You notice something peculiar on his arm, and then you kind of go to instantly kind of like grab him because you kind of recognize it in the security briefing, and he kind of looks at you funny, and he's like, let go of me, and you realize that the tattoo insignia that he actually visibly tried to like kind of erase is that of a particular Orion pirate gang. Was used by the Razon Orion gang that has been long for approximately 40 years between 2221 to 2267 engaged in acts of piracy across the Federation, attacking several colony worlds, and is responsible for lots of bloodshed over the course of those 40 years.
So basically, there's active warrants out on all these guys, type deal.
There is potentially an active warrant against maybe this individual. The leader of the actual gang, which is the man who started it, Captain Razan, has never been captured. What do you really want, Starfleet? You don't mind? I have work to do.
Yeah. But I'm wondering why you would be hiding out in an area known for piracy, bearing the mark, howbeit tried to be erased, of an Orion pirate group.
As I said, a job is a job. If you don't mind, I have more relays to replace and more conduits to repair. Picks up his tool bag.
Oh, good grief, I'm trying to figure out how to play this. Ah, I can do this. I'm going to draw my phaser, not point it at him, but under the authority of Starfleet Command, I hereby take you into custody under assumption of piracy acts against the Federation worlds, and must take you into custody for questioning.
You have no proof.
The mark on your arm is proof enough.
So you condemn a man just based on an old tattoo?
I did not say you were being imprisoned. I said you.
Your fancy words indicate that you are taking me prisoner.
My fancy words may be saying one thing. However, my intentions are nothing more than to ask you a few questions.
Then you can ask away right here. I won't go to your ship. Unless you plan to use that weapon on me, I have work to be done. So make it quick.
Oh, good grief, now I'm trying to figure out how to word this. What was that captain's name that hadn't been caught yet?
Razan.
Razan. Tell me, during your time with the pirate group, did you happen to know a captain named Razan?
I heard he's dead.
Really?
Insight security.
Oh, good grief. Oh, no.
Opposed.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm trying to. Oh. Because my insight security is terrible. I'm going to have to spend that momentum. And then I think I'm going to have to give you 2 more threat.
All right.
Oh, come on.
Ooh.
The-
He's beaten you by 1.
Yeah, I see that.
Do you wish to challenge a value?
Oh, man.
I would take if you challenge new tech is interesting because you're not really working with new tech, but whatever you're doing right now is kind of interesting, and maybe you're not going to be dealing with. You're going to have to be dealing more with criminals in the future.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
All right, what are you spending the determination on if you're challenging it?
I probably would have to ask Mission Directive again, unless you'll take nothing is impossible.
Elaborate on nothing is impossible.
It seems like he's trying to make it very evasive and almost impossible for me to get any information out of him.
Sure.
Okay. Please work. Ha!
You're
I
currently
tied him.
tying, which means nothing happens. You can succeed at cost.
I think I know where this is going too. But yeah, I'll do it.
In his demeanor, he is definitely lying to you. He is well aware that he knows who you're talking about. He also seems a really bit worried about why you're asking so many questions about Captain Razon. And as you're doing that, he drops his bag and starts running.
I would like to full sprint tackle him.
Opposed, daring security.
I will take that.
Get it, Martel.
I don't have close quarters combat, but I have hand-to-hand combat.
That will work.
Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to give you some threat here. I think it's gonna wind up being 3.
I'm gonna spend that 3 threat you just gave me. Oh, that's 3. 2 momentum gained, and you tackle him to the ground. Are you essentially grappling him?
Essentially, yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage because I need to count the effects.
Okay. I'm guessing it's unarmed strike damage.
Yes, it is your unarmed strike damage. There is no damage being dealt. It's just
Right.
the purpose for knockdown effects. He's definitely knocked down. So
Yeah.
he is going to try and get out of it. Oh, it's only difficulty 2? difficulty 3. Unfortunately, his stats are not that great. Nope. He's still grappled. Unhand me.
I'm not quite so sure that would be a very smart idea, Captain.
You don't know me.
Maybe not, but everything you have done leads me to believe that you are Captain Razan.
You have no proof. It's an unlawful. You're detaining me unlawfully.
I am detaining you under suspicion of terrorist acts against the Federation.
For a momentum, you can essentially bind him.
Oh, yes, please.
So you restrain him. He's bound. And what are you going to do from here? As he's just kind of remaining silent and grumble, grumble, grumble.
From here, I'll pull out my communicator and go, Martel to Argo.
Haggard here. Go ahead, number 1.
Captain, I believe, not certain, but I believe I have detained Captain Razan on board this freighter, requesting immediate transport back to the Argo and the Orion into the brig.
Very well, number 1. Haggard to Anders. Beam Commander Martel plus 1 Orion male at his position to the Argo. Security team to security detachment to transporter room 2.
Control engineering difficulty 1, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering.
Somebody want to grab Anders?
I can grab him. What's he under?
He's under this engineering department of
Simon Anders.
Yeah.
There we are. Okay. What's the roll?
Control engineering difficulty of 1, assisted by the ship's sensors plus engineering.
Okay. Any focuses apply?
Does he have
Yeah, his transporters.
Okay. Let's see. Are any of these talents useful? I will use 1 momentum for the cautious engineering.
You wish to re-roll the 0.
I'm a gambling man. Why not?
Come on.
What could go wrong?
I need the ship's sensors plus engineering. 4 momentum gained. Lazos, do you wish to make another roll on your extended task?
Yeah.
Control plus engineering, difficulty 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 2 on procedural compliance and 1 for third dice.
Okay, so
Oh, I didn't. I should have declared the advantage. I mean,
Yeah.
I just created an advantage, but I didn't say what it was for.
yeah.
Will you accept that it was for lowering the difficulty, since that's really the only thing I could have done?
Yes. Do you have a way to re-roll the 0? It is a success.
No, I don't have a way to reroll 0.
Okay.
Did you spend momentum?
3.
3 momentum? Okay.
Roll 7 challenge dice, please. It's currently.
And I'll spend the last one for piercing.
It puts you at 10 work. It's another breakthrough. Difficulty goes down to 1. Do you wish to continue on the extended task?
Yep.
All right. Difficulty 1. Control plus engineering. Seven challenge dice.
It's a good thing we're not doing anything like having warp core breaches tonight, because we'd all die.
Real quick though, with procedural compliance, you can re-roll that 0.
Oh, okay.
2 momentum gained. That's currently 4 work.
Yeah, let me reroll 3.
Additional 4. That is a breakthrough.
What is that, 18 out of 21?
Yes.
Okay.
Should be at you're at 0. Should be actually at 1 momentum currently.
Yep.
Difficulty is now 0. By the way, procedural compliance has ended. 2 momentum, so you're at 3 momentum. Roll 7 challenge dice. That is 3 work. Which I believe
1
that
for
completes.
piercing.
Okay. That actually, so you're down to 2. 5 breakthrough. It's over the work track. Gets you the 5th breakthrough. That will complete the repairs to all 3 vessels on their outer hull and nacelles. And we'll head to the bridge. Martel, you're occupant is currently in the brig. Are you heading to the brig, or are you going to report to the captain?
I probably should go debrief the captain first.
Number one, what did you find out?
Not much. He seemed to be very closed off, sir. I mean, he wouldn't give me any information freely. However, on his arm is a mostly erased tattoo, which stood for a old band of Orion space pirates which attacked Federation outposts a few years ago.
Well, and traditionally it's difficult to leave those gangs anyway, but feet first.
True.
And you say you suspect him of being this Captain Razon?
Yes, I do suspect it was Captain Razon, mainly because when I asked about it, he became asked about the captain, he became even more evasive, even lied to the fact that he was dead. The only reason to do that is either A, he's covering for him, or B, he is him.
Well, go through Starfleet Security's databases, see if they've got anything on him anyway that we might identify him one way or the other.
Do you think we might have DNA profiles of them in any way?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
I'll run some checks, sir, but I might have to acquire the services of Dr. Chalet.
well, let me know what you come up with, and then we'll see if maybe he won't be more amenable to an interview after he's sat in the brig for a little while.
Agreed. I'll check on the Starfleet database then, sir, but I figured I should let you know of the developments. Rather do it in person than over a comm link.
Thank you, number one. Mr. Chatray, any chance you could track down the warp trails of the pirates who molested our friends here?
That will take some time, sir.
I'll see what you can make of it. Mira, inform Starfleet Command that as Convoy S-9's escorts have been badly damaged, Argo is taking up escort duty with the convoy, but we request relief by more appropriate vessels if possible.
Yes, sir.
And open the channel one more time to Captain Nears.
Channel open.
Captain. Good news and bad news. The good news is we'll be taking over as your escorts until Starfleet can drum up someone else. The bad news is I'm afraid we're going to have to detain your engineer for a little bit. It appears that he may or may not be involved with a rather notorious group of Orion pirates.
You think there was a spy on my ship?
I'm not so sure that he was a spy as much as someone who for one reason or another, had decided he'd rather not be part of the gang anymore, and who the rest of the gang wasn't quite willing to let go so easily. At least that's my theory yet. But unless they've got something fairly heavy, I seriously doubt they'd be willing to attack you again with the Argo escorting you.
Let's hope so, Captain. He's always
Just
so nice
coordinate
to people.
What do you say?
He said he's was always so nice to, like his fellowship mates.
Well, again, we're trying to get to the bottom of it, but he does have the gang tattoo on him. It could be that he's innocent, but if not, I'll keep you informed. Have your helms people coordinate with mine, and we'll take up escort positions whenever you're ready to move out.
Understood. We're gonna attempt to recover the escort vessels and hold them in our cargo base.
Let us know if we can assist.
Will do. Captain Ears out. Closes the channel. Meanwhile, in the brig.
I forget we have a brig.
Just don't use it that often. I need someone from sick bay to do a forensics analysis based on certain information on hand in Starfleet security database. This would be reason plus medicine difficulty of 2.
What is the? Well, I mean, what is the forensics? I mean, are we taking it from the person or?
Essentially biometric scans.
Dr. Shallett will come down to talk to the first officer on this matter. Sir?
Doctor.
What can I do for you?
Well, I need a biometric scan of this gentleman here. I need to compare it with any information in Starfleet's database.
Of course. And I assume the patient has given consent?
That's a little bit tricky, Doctor. You see, I am holding him under suspicion of terrorist activities against the Federation.
I see. In that case, I assume you have a court order for the medical procedure.
I have not yet acquired one. I am trying to confirm his identity as to whom I suspect him to be.
Well, sir, I'm sure you're aware that I cannot forcefully perform any medical procedure on an unwilling patient without a court order.
Doctor, do you know how long it'd take me to get a court order from Starfleet Command?
I could imagine. Perhaps we should run this by the captain.
Okay, Doctor.
I'll tap the wall communicator or whatever communicator is closest.
Are you doing this
Dr. Shot?
real quick? Are you doing this around the prisoner?
I believe we're doing it right in front of him.
Okay, just want to make sure.
That's why I'm keeping my story straight.
Yep, you also have a chief of security's office back here.
So yeah, I would use the communicator and Dr. Shallett to the captain.
Haggard here. Go ahead, Doctor. Don't tell me
Or
Mr. Teniers is taking a turn for the worse.
no, sir. I'm down by the brig here. We're having a little difference of opinion on matters of protocol with me and the first officer. Would you mind joining us?
I'll be down momentarily.
Thank you, sir.
Mr.
Shall
Trey,
we wait
you
in
have
my
the bridge.
doctor's? Shall we wait in my office, Doctor?
As you wish. I see they only gave one chair. Nobody else gets to sit.
Well, normally I only use this office for morning briefings with my staff. And sometimes disciplinary action against some of them, so there's not really any use for any chairs.
Interesting. And I assume at some point the captain shows up.
Number one, Doctor, what seems to be the problem?
Well, sir, the commander would like me to do a medical procedure on the prisoner against his wishes without a court order.
What sort of medical procedure?
Biometric.
Is this an invasive procedure?
It's a simple biometric scan, I believe, Captain.
It's a slippery slope there, Captain, if we start determining that some procedures can and can't be done without permission.
Well, it seems to me, Doctor, that there's potentially some biohazard concerns here. Biometric scan might give us read out if the patient is carrying any sort of diseases that might be contagious and that might have been already exposed to the crew.
I see.
But if you're uncomfortable with it, let me see what we can get by asking a few direct questions.
Has anyone actually asked him if he's willing to have this done?
I'll put it on my list. Drop the force field, please. So, my name's Captain Haggard. I command the Argo here. I understand you're called
Jar.
Yar. Jar. Right. So, Captain Nears is quite impressed with both your work and your general attitude. However, that little bit of ink there that you've tried to erase is a little bit problematic and leads me to why you and I find ourselves here. There's zero real reason for Ryan pirates to attack this deep into Federation space, and particularly this particular convoy, considering that they're not carrying much of anything that is going to bring any money on the black market. Which makes me wonder if maybe they weren't trying to take the cargo, but were maybe trying to recover something or someone else. So, what's the story with the tattoo on your arm?
Presence command opposed.
Okay, I will spend my determination on fortune favors the bold, because I'm just sort of rolling the dice, coming right at him and straight out asking him.
Okay. I'll take that.
All right. And then I'll give you 1 threat and 1 momentum for the 3rd die, and 1 more momentum and 2 threat for the 4th die. Persuasion or negotiation for focus?
Persuasion.
Okay. Oof. I can re-roll the... There we go. I'm looking at 8.
You spent turn animation 5 dice. You gave me a threat. You spent 2 momentum, so you gave me 3 more threat. Is that right?
Yeah. And then you used bold to re-roll the comp.
4 momentum gained. Look, Captain, I'm an old man. I just wish to retire with some dignity left. So yes, I am Captain Razon.
And I'm assuming your former associates weren't quite willing to let you go?
Let's just say we had a disagreement over some shipments. I prefer not to hand over and deal in such scrupulous activities, so I decided to kill my competition and also the would-be buyers.
And did you do any of this in Federation territory?
What does it matter? They weren't Federation citizens.
Well, be that as it may, if the crime was committed in Federation territory, it doesn't really matter. We hold that you're
No.
subject to Federation law.
No, it happened in open space.
Do I think he's telling the truth?
To a degree.
Okay.
Might be exaggerating a little bit.
So you want me to believe that you're just trying to get out from under and now are just a tired, little past middle-aged man wanting to live in peaceful retirement?
Yeah, that's the gist of it.
Well, Captain Raison, let me see what I can see. Open the force field, please. Reactivate it, please. So, we have Captain Raison, by his own admission, in our custody. Number one, we've got it as any outstanding charges and warrants against this individual.
Checking now, sir. Yeah, there's a bunch. One for Mandor, wanted for murder. He's wanted for a lot of things by a bunch of different member worlds.
All right. Any of those records coming with biometric information?
No, none of them have biometric information. Apparently, nobody got a scan of him, or he was stayed aboard his ship, like one of our Federation captains might do from time to time.
Then, Captain, I would point out that there would be nothing gained from a biometric now, since you would have nothing to compare it against.
Agreed. However, I think that is, since by his own admission he is Captain Razon, we have no choice but to detain him until we can deliver him to the proper Federation authorities.
And it would be good to have biometric data on file when he is turned over to them.
Fair enough, number one, but the doctor is right, and we'd better do this by the books. So send a transmission to the Judge Advocate General's office with all of our data, and see if you can get a warrant for that information. Did anybody else hear that beep beep?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just me about to have a stroke then.
It's the wall panel.
Oh, okay. I wasn't smelling toast, but just in case. So Haggard will walk back in here. Captain Razon.
The communicator, like, and the wall panel's beeping. So I don't have appropriate TOS.
Oh, sorry. Haggard here. Go ahead.
Captain, this is Merritt. The convoy, the Captain Nears is asking how long you're going to hold I almost said his name. Jar for. He's asking because his daughter is quite worried about him.
Tell the captain I'll speak with him shortly.
Of course.
Captain Razon, why is Captain Near's daughter so concerned about you?
Captain Near's daughter is not on the ship.
No, but apparently she is so worried about you that she convinced her father to call over and find out how long I was going to keep you for.
It's Jar's daughter.
Oh, Jar's daughter. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I misunderstood. Yes. Captain Razon, you have a daughter aboard the convoy?
Not by blood, but yes.
Well, Captain, there are outstanding warrants for you from several Federation worlds and from Starfleet, and some of them for quite serious offenses.
I see.
I can promise you that we'll do everything by the book. You'll get an excellent representation and a fair trial. And the Federation penal planets and the penal system is quite a bit better than you might expect in Orion space. I'm also willing to allow your daughter to visit with you during our transit. We are taking over escort duties for the convoy since the pirates damaged their earlier escorts. So you will at least be able to spend some time with your daughter before we have to turn you over to the appropriate authorities.
I would rather her not see me like this.
I can arrange a communications channel for you if you would rather.
That'll do.
So, I think we have done about all we can here, gentlemen. We'll take Captain Razon back with us and turn him over to Starfleet security when we reach Earth space dock or the. Where's S-9 headed to, GM?
To Trill.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Or to Trill. I have to say, he seems like a nice enough old man, but we can't overlook warrants for piracy and murder. And since nobody's apparently ever gotten a good look at him, it may well be that he'll get off. In the meantime, he stays in the brig, number one. Maybe post an extra security guard or two outside, just in case. We haven't had the best of luck with prisoners staying in the brig in the past.
Understood, sir.
And Doctor, until we get that warrant, I don't suppose we need to take up any more of your time. Is there anything else, number one?
That was all from me, sir.
Haggard will head back up to the bridge.
Anything else, Martel?
Other than putting in that court order with the JAG office? No, nothing else.
Mira, patch me through to Captain Nears in my ready room. Thank you.
A few moments pass by and Nears appears on screen.
Captain Nears, some bad news. It appears that the man you know as Jar is actually Captain Razon of the Razon Orion gang. He is wanted by multiple Federation member worlds, the Federation itself, and of course Starfleet for crimes including piracy and murder. So I'm afraid he will be staying in our brig until we reach either Trill or our own destination of Earth Stardock, where we will turn him over to Starfleet security for trial. I understand that he has a daughter aboard your ship.
Yeah.
I offered him the opportunity for her to come and visit during the time that we were escorting you. However, he did not seem comfortable with that. I will have my chief of security set up a secure communications channel so that he and his daughter can talk that way. But I'm afraid that's the best I can do. I'm sorry, Captain, but these charges I can't ignore.
I understand, but are you absolutely sure it's him?
By his own admission. Now, there is none of the documents and warrants for this Captain Razon that we were able to find had any sort of identifying or biometric information attached. So there may well be that besides his word, there's not enough evidence to convict him of such or to prove that he is who he claims to be. But when I confronted him with the possibility, with the fact that really the only real reason that I could see for the Orions attacking the convoy was to get someone particular back, it was at that point he admitted that he was Captain Razon. Now, unless you think there is someone else they could be after or something else that you're carrying that they could be after, I have to take this as an admission of identity. And in that point, until the justice system says otherwise, this is the process. Is his daughter someone that the pirates might have been interested in?
I wouldn't have an idea. I mean, Dallas is. I mean, she's no small child by no means. I mean,
But what?
she's like. Sorry, I'm trying to describe it. Dallas is around 15. I don't see why she would have any use. Why the Orions would even want her. For, God forbid, slave trade.
And she's not Orion?
No. But she looks up to him pretty. I'm not sure how their relationship started. I never really honored to ask why. But it's. From what I gather, she looks up to him like a father.
Interesting. Well, perhaps I'll make my way over and interview the young lady myself. Something's strange here. Although I have to treat Cap Jar's admission that he is Captain Razon seriously, something doesn't quite feel 100% right with me about this. With your permission, I'd like to come aboard.
Of course. I mean, if it's help clear this matter up, by all means.
I'll see you shortly then, Captain. Argo out. Lieutenant Mirror, my compliments to Lieutenant Anders. Tell him I'll be leaving the ship to beam aboard the lead Trill freighter. Mr. Chitre, you have the bridge until number 1 returns. And I'll go beam aboard the freighter.
You be more. You're greeted by Captain Ears. Like, welcome aboard, and then thank you for all your assists. Definitely couldn't get these ships back in order as fast as we did without your help. Okay, extends
I'm
his
glad
hand
we could
out.
help.
Um,
And
Dallas is she's this way. I got her
thank
in
you.
the. And he kind of walks you to like a small cabin, and he goes, "This is Nelson's and Char's cabin. I'll be outside."
Valis, you're saying?
Nellis.
Got it. I will chime the door or whatever.
Enter.
Your name is Nellis?
Yes.
I'm Captain Ulysses Haggard of the USS Argo. Pleasure to meet you.
Um. Likewise. Have you seen my father?
That's why I'm here, actually. May I sit down?
Points to the chair.
Okay, so I have a seat. Nellis, your father is in a bit of trouble, but I'm not necessarily convinced that he entirely deserves to be. So you need to be very, very honest with me. What is your father's real name?
She kind of looks at you like, um, Razan. But he's
And
a good man. I swear.
that may well be. Is he the Captain Razan who used to lead the Razan Orion gang?
I don't know that.
Fair enough. This
He,
the Captain Razan who did lead, or does lead, for all we know, this gang, is wanted for some serious crimes against the people of the Federation. And your father has told me that he is Captain Razan.
but if he's such a bad man, why did he save us?
Save you? Tell me.
He saved us from the bad men. There was others. He
Start at the beginning and tell me what happened.
I mean, I know he's not my real father. I don't really remember what my parents were like, but we were. I was with a group of other children. Um, Not like me. They didn't look like me, but we've been on a trip for last 10 years. He's been trying to take us home.
And where are the other children?
Um, they're they've all we've hitched rides on various vessels and worked with other cargo ships, and they've gone home to their home worlds.
And where did he rescue all of you from? Who were the bad men that had you?
They're green Orions, but he's not like those. I know he's. They say he's Orion, but he doesn't look like the rest of them.
Red Orions are a thing, though, right?
Yes. Toss.
Do what?
The animated series.
Right. And how did you wind up with the green Orions originally, or do you remember?
It's kind of vague, but I was on a my my parents were traders. There was loud explosions.
And where did you first meet your father? Or Jar?
Um, on some planet, I was in a cage and we were being moved to someplace dark. She kind of
And
starts
how did
crying a little bit.
I know this is hard and that this is scary, but um, believe it or not, I am trying to help your father, but I can only do that if I can learn the truth about him and about you and about as much as I can.
Um,
So,
we were in cages and lots of noise, um, shooting, and the people that were watching us, um, father, I know he's done some bad things, but he made him go to sleep.
all right.
And
I've
he
done that to some bad men myself, so I understand sometimes you have to.
took us to a ship, and um, we ran far away. He's kept us safe.
And this was about 10 years ago, you say?
Yeah, I know the journey's been long, but he's never once mistreated me. Some of the worlds were really far away. Um, we went to the world where there was people who looked like cats, and um, there was some this strange world where the ocean is purple. It's quite beautiful.
Hmm. Actually, you may be able to help your father more than anyone else. Your memories of the worlds you visited to drop off these other children could very well provide many witnesses to testify in his favor and a lot of evidence in his favor. Would you be interested in coming to live aboard my ship for a little while? Your father is there. Unfortunately, I have him in what we call a brig, which is a holding cell, but he's very well treated and very well fed. And I know he'd like to see you, although he's a little bit hesitant about seeing you while he's imprisoned. But if you could work with my people and tell them about the worlds you visited with these children that you and your father helped returned, that could be of tremendous help to his case. Would you be willing to do that?
Yes, I want to help him. After all, he kept us from the bad people.
Great. So pack your things, and you and I will go back over together. And while she's packing, I'll step out in the hallway and whip out my communicator. Haggard to Argo.
Martell here.
Mr. Martell, I'm trying to get to the bottom of our guest, and the more I learn, the more curious the situation becomes. I'd like you to move him from the brig to a secure stateroom, place a couple of security guards on the outside. I'm going to be bringing a young lady back with me that might enable us to get to the bottom of who he is and what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I'll feel you. Go ahead.
Although I would highly recommend that he remain under constant guard. If we do move him, we cannot afford any attempts at sabotage.
Fine by me. 2 guards outside of his door, 24/7.
Understood.
And then when Nellis is ready, we'll beam back over. And I'll get her settled in a guest room. And then if number 1 will meet us outside the quarters, he's got Razan in. Let's the 3 of us go in and see what's what. So I'll chime the bell, the door. Does he answer?
Sorry, setting the stage.
Oh.
Come in.
And the girl's with us?
Yeah, I just don't.
Okay. Captain Razan, I have someone here who'd very much like to see you.
She runs up and hugs him.
Nellis here has been telling me a fascinating tale of lost children and a kind man who has spent the last 10 years returning them to their homes. A story quite at odds with the reputation of the pirate Razan.
And your point being, Captain?
My point being that if you are who you claim to be, I think this is 10 years of mitigation to your record. And if you aren't who you're claiming to be, and you're claiming to be that for some other purpose, I'd like to know why and who you actually are. Nellis here has agreed to help us track down, by what she remembers, the various children that you have returned. Which I can only imagine would be tremendous mitigating evidence at your trial, but I'm wondering if you are the same Razon that all these warrants are out for.
Doesn't matter anymore, Captain. Sometimes
Of course it
men have
matters.
to pay for the sins that they've created.
Why don't,
Nellis kind of looks like her, like at him, like puzzling.
so tell me your story, sir. Tell us your story. I look at Martel with me.
There are some things some men just do not cross, Captain.
So this disagreement on trade that you had took place about 10 years ago?
Correct.
About what I thought. But before that, say 2221 to 2267, you are that Razon.
The one and only.
Well, in any event, if you can promise me not to raise a ruckus on my ship, I don't see any reason that you and your daughter can't stay in these quarters, although
She
I will have...
cannot stay here. She needs to go back with the convoy and back to Trill.
Is the kid Trill?
Yeah.
Well, we're currently acting as the convoy's escort, so until that point, perhaps the two of you would enjoy a little time together. I'll give you my word that I'll make sure she gets to Trill. And in the meantime, she can help your case by telling us of the worlds you visited and the children you've returned.
It doesn't matter, Captain.
Of course it matters. It matters to this girl. And it matters to all the other children that you've helped and their parents or surviving relatives who thought them lost and then had them returned. It matters to me as a point of justice. You very well have probably done some things that you deserve to pay for, but on the balance of that are the things that you've done that stand you in good credit. And in the Federation, those things do count, and they are taken into the balance.
He kind of looks to Nellis. Nelly, could you please wait outside? Of course. She walks up the exit to stand on the corridor. I don't have long for this world, Captain. I'm a dying
ill?
man.
I assure you, our medical facilities on this ship are some of the most advanced in the Federation.
He starts violently coughing and
Haggard to sickbay. Medical emergency in quarters C64-1. Dr. Shallot, come immediately.
Sick bay responding.
Ah, Doctor, good. Captain Razon is ill. He tells us he's dying.
I see. And Captain Razon, do you know what is wrong with you?
It's genetic.
That limits the list, but not by much.
It's a genetic disease that involves where my lungs begin to slowly deteriorate. Sooner or later, I will be. My lungs will fill up with fluid and eventually I will suffocate.
Ah, yes. I read about a pattern like this that came about in the early 20th century on Earth after a disease ravaged many people on Earth, something called COVID, that caused numerous people to have problems. I'll uh, I'll scan him to see, how far along it is and what we can, if anything, do.
You scan him. You realize that there is some medications he could take to help prolong his life, but like he says, like he will eventually die from this.
There are some medications that we can give you to at least ease your suffering.
How long, Doctor?
Let me do a couple calculations here. Few months, maybe. Without meds, possibly more with. Without the meds, the rest of the body will be stressed by the ever increasing struggle to get oxygen, and the lower oxygen in the blood will eventually lead to sepsis as the organs shut down.
And I take it you haven't told Nellis.
No. She has family on Trillius. I'm trying to return her to her grandparents. It's the least I can do. I'm just surprised it took the syndicate this long to catch up to me. I guess I got careless in my old age.
Do you want the doctor's help? Sounds like he could at least mitigate your systems for a while and make things a bit easier on you.
The last thing I wish to do before I go, Captain, is to make sure that she gets back home where she belongs.
Mm. Doctor, see what you can do to help Captain Razon here.
Of course.
Number
with
one.
His permission, of course.
do your
Yes, sir.
witchcraft, Doctor.
Very well. I think a combination of bronchodilators along with a nice course of Triox should alleviate a lot of these symptoms here when we just throw these together here. Yes, this will do nicely. As set up this hypo spray and put a little shot into your arm. There. How's that? Take a nice deep breath.
It's a little easier.
Good. Good.
And Haggard will call Yeoman Kamalo down here. Nellis, when the doctor comes out, your father, I'm afraid, is a little under the weather. When the doctor comes out, he should be feeling a little better, and you can go in and visit for a little while longer. And then there'll be a nice young woman, Yeoman Kamalo, will be waiting for you out here to help you get a start on telling us about the other places you visited and where your father has helped children find their way home.
Okay.
And once she's gone back in, I'll turn to number one and go, well, all right, this is just ridiculous. I can't send this man to prison, at least not until he returns this girl to her grandparents. Number one.
Yes, Captain.
Any ideas?
None so far right now, sir.
Hmm.
I mean, it's a shame to hear the Captain Raison is dying.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to head back to the bridge. See if Mira can't patch me through to Admiral Bennett in my ready room.
And Mir opens the line.
Admiral Bennett, good to see you again, sir.
Ulysses, tell me. It seems like you've come on a little bit of some strain with the convoy. It's kind of shocking to hear one be attacked so far into Federation space.
Hmm. Well, looks like they had something that the gang wanted, which is part of the reason I'm calling you. I'd like your permission to make a detour back to Trill before we head back to Earth. For reasons of compassionate family leave. We've found a young girl and her guardian. She was captured by Orion pirates about 10 years ago, rescued by her guardian, who, along with many other children, they've slowly been working their way across the sector, returning the children, and she's the last. Her grandparents are waiting for her on Trill.
It's an interesting tale, but why would the Orion's syndicate care so much about a child, let alone their guardian?
Well, it seems that her guardian is Captain Raison, formerly of the Raison gang.
That's
Uh,
he kind of sits back and tries. That's a name I haven't heard in 20 years.
mm. Yes, it appears that his business partners decided there might be money to be made in not just slavery, but child slavery. Captain Raison rather violently disagreed, rescued the children that had been captive, and has been spending the years since undercover working various tramp freighters to get the children home. The 14-year-old who's with him now is giving us information on the planets that they visited so that we can corroborate the story. But I have to say, Admiral, I believe him. And to top everything off, he's got some sort of rare genetic disorder that my doctor says is incurable and is going to kill him in a matter of months. I'd like to at least give him the opportunity to see the girl home before I drop him off into formal custody. And if we can make the journey to Trill, I can keep an eye on him and then put him in the hands of Starfleet authorities on Trill once the girl's returned. Call me a sap if you will, sir, but it's not too often I run across something like this that at least gives me an opportunity to see someone change for the better and make the universe a little bit of a better place.
Very well. You're gonna have to run a little hot though. You need to arrive around the same time the Akagi gets here at Sector 001.
I think we can do that, Admiral. My engineer, Lieutenant Commander Lazos, has been working on our engines. We can hold warp factor 14 for an hour or more longer than spec.
All right. Interesting. You think she would mind sharing that trade secret with the rest of the fleet?
I think we can arrange that, Admiral. We'll see you as soon as we can.
Good luck, Ulysses.
So yeah, and then I will deliver the news that we are carrying the two of them back to Trill aboard the Argo. And unless you want me to particularly role play it out later, I'll tell him that, he'll get to deliver her into the hands of the grandparents, but then he's going to go into custody on Trill. And meanwhile, we will be working with the girl to try and corroborate the story he's told us.
All right. To accelerate some time, you arrive on Trill. You does indeed do the handoff where he introduces the Nellis back to with like her grandparents. It's a very emotional time, and there's a bit of a smile that comes from Razon's face, and he walks off, and the little girl kind of reaches around, hugs him goodbye, and cherishing moments, and disembark as he walks back with you, and he kind of clenches his chest a little bit and tells you he's okay, and goes back in, given to custody over Trillius.
And we'll make sure that their medical department has all the information on his conditions and the palliative care that Dr. Shallot has developed.
Over the several days, as you head back to Earth, you get word that Captain Razon passed away in his sleep through the night, and he was unable to be held for trial. And they report that he went peacefully. And with that, I will end today's session.
That was very cool.